Hello. As you know, PVZ is an absolutely harmless tower defense game where the player defends their home from zombies using living plants. The game presents everything in a humorous style, making it not even slightly scary, despite being about zombies. But how did the plants see it? Today, in this video, I'll be reviewing a PVZ horror comic by JHG Comics. So let's not waste any time. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Also, sponsorship has been added to my channel. Now, if you want to support me, you can do so. There are 3 subscription levels available, their prices are shown on the screen. Follow the link in the description or visit the channel's main page to become a sponsor. And let's get started. The comic is called Through the Eyes of Plants. So far, it has 7 parts and is likely not finished yet, as the author may release a continuation. But for now, let's analyze what we have. The first part starts with Crazy Dave reading a newspaper, presumably describing the ongoing events in the city, how plants are protecting it from zombies. Next, we see a pea shooter standing on the lawn when suddenly, the bright and colorful art style shifts to a worn-out and gray aesthetic. The zombies now look completely different from what we're used to. They have white pupils and terrifying faces. We are shown dead and torn apart plants lying on the lawn. The terrified pea shooter notices a massive horde of approaching zombies that begin ruthlessly tearing and devouring the plants. A battle starts, but it looks nothing like what we're used to. This isn't a bright and cartoonish fight where zombies simply lose their heads and plants disappear, it's a full-on massacre. The pea shooter sees the bodies of his fallen friends and, in horror, turns to Dave. Here, we can see that, from Dave's perspective, things don't look nearly as horrifying. The colors remain bright, and the pea shooter doesn't appear scared or confused. A massive and terrifying gargantuar appears on the lawn, mercilessly crushing plants. But the doomed shroom, sacrificing itself, destroys him. The battlefield is shown, leaving only one pea shooter as the sole survivor. He is given a bag of coins for completing the level. Then, we see a scene where someone, most likely Crazy Dave, injects something into a pea pod, which then transforms into a pea shooter. And that's how the first part ends. In the second part, the story shifts to the perspective of Scaredy Shroom. The setting now seems to be in the backyard. We see a planter, who looks at Scaredy Shroom with sympathy, but suddenly, a zombie hand emerges from the fog and smashes it. The fog thickens, almost completely covering the lawn. Scaredy Shroom begins trembling as eerie zombie silhouettes emerge from the mist. The battle starts. Terrified, Scaredy Shroom fires shots in all directions. Suddenly, a minor zombie burrows underground and starts eating plants from behind. The number of zombies keeps increasing, but then everything goes quiet. In the distance, music from the Jack-in-the-Box zombie is heard. A pea shooter destroys him, causing the music box to drop near Scaredy Shroom and explode. The pea shooter, in shock, notices something next to him, and the part ends there. The third part begins with a foggy night sky. A duck tube zombie attacks Sea Shroom, but something suddenly drags it underwater. Next, a snorkel zombie emerges, only to be grabbed by Tangle Kelp. The kelp tries to restrain the zombies, but they break free and surface. Meanwhile, inside Crazy Dave's garage, a pea shooter climbs out of a pot and notices some drawings. Here, we see an Easter egg referencing PVZ Fusion, featuring its logo and hybrid plant creation concepts. Next to the drawing, there's also a note about PVZ2's plant food and PVZ Hero's sunflower creation. Turning around, the pea shooter sees the very hybrids mentioned in the notes, but they are deformed and miserable. Nearby, there's a cage with something trapped inside. The scene then shifts to the roof of the house, where a light turns on. In the fourth part, we remain on the roof, where a massive zombot appears. The story is now told from the perspective of Colonel Polt. The plants start attacking the zombot. Melon Polt is snatched by a zomboni on a bungee cord. Interestingly, this zombie is depicted as half-decayed, which is a great detail because, originally, this enemy was supposed to have no shirt. And its rope was meant to be intestines, a cool reference. As the battle continues, Zomboss suffers heavy losses and decides to launch a fireball, but it's effortlessly destroyed by an ice shroom. Realizing he can't win, Zomboss grabs Colonel Polt and crushes him. In the final scene, Zomboss is shown at a cemetery, crushing something, and the part ends. The fifth part starts with a horrifying image of a PVZ hero's pea shooter nailed to a cross. The scene shifts to a shadowy figure in the fog, Super Brains, who tears Bonk Choy apart in front of Sunflower. Before she can suffer the same fate, Chomper intervenes and eats Super Brains, but then Zomboss arrives and crushes Chomper with his robot. We return to Dave's garage, where he injects something into Sunflower, causing her to mutate. She wakes up and sees Dave's silhouette, but he climbs into the Zombot, revealing that he was actually Zomboss all along. Meanwhile, Peashooter opens a mysterious cage, releasing a mutated Sunflower hero. As she surveys the area, the garage door opens, revealing two glowing white eyes. Suddenly, a Peashooter projectile strikes her, knocking her down. Looking up, she sees numerous eerie eyes staring from the darkness, and the part ends. Before moving on, let's clarify what happened. This part takes place before part 3. It shows a battle between hero plants and zombies, after which Zomboss captures Sunflower. He then disguises himself and infiltrates Dave's garage, likely to discover the secret of living plants. He attempts to create his own version, but fails, as seen in the horrifying hybrid experiments. His attempt to create a super plant also backfires, so he abandons the garage. The final scenes occur after part 3, when Peashooter discovers the strange cage. The sixth part begins with 3 Peashooters entering battle. Suddenly, a zombie foot soldier appears and kills one Peashooter, then takes out the rest. But before he can continue, a chili bean lands at his feet and explodes. The last surviving Peashooter reunites with the plant team. A sudden static distortion occurs, revealing a dumpster filled with dead plants. We see an enraged Zomboss banging his head against a wall in despair, as he has no idea how to defeat Dave's army of living plants. The scene then shifts back to the battlefield, and moments later, Zomboss reappears, modifying a zombie's head to resemble a Peashooter. The seventh part picks up right where the previous one left off. The horrifying plant zombie hybrids attack Sunflower, but suddenly, a Peashooter cherry bomb hybrid attacks them. However, a zombie squash crushes it, and a zombie walnut kills a walnut gatling. The injured Sunflower fights back but is grabbed by Jalapeno, who injures her before exploding. Despite losing a limb, she survives. The garage catches fire, and a zombie Peashooter emerges, shooting her down. As he approaches for the final blow, he steps on a mushroom, and suddenly, his consciousness returns. It turns out this was the Peashooter from the first parts, remembering the massacre of his friends, and the part ends. Lastly, let's discuss the song, Through the Eyes of Plants and Through the Eyes of Zombies, by JHG Comics. The song reveals that Crazy Dave and Zomboss are just two insane geniuses using plants and zombies for entertainment and war. They don't care about the suffering of their troops, only about victory. The comic's main message is that neither side is truly evil or good, both are just victims of a senseless war. If you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like, and I'll analyze Through the Eyes of Zombies next time. And with that, I'm wrapping up. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.